Yes, Bhargav, you can ask me the questions, whatsoever you have. Fine? Okay. So in today's, as we have the first session, and maximum students be the one who are not already aware about what is actually DSA. So we will start with the concept of what is data structure, what is algorithm, and then step by step we will talk about the further things related to data structure and algorithm. So whatsoever definitions you guys gave to me about the algorithms, it's all correct. So basically what we can say is that what is an algorithm? It's a sequence of steps which is basically used to perform some specific task. So I can write that yes, algorithm is something. So whenever we listen this word as algorithm, it is something which is a sequence of steps. But now these steps should be, I'm adding one more term here, sequence of finite steps to perform some specific task.
Sequence of
For
finite
example,
steps to perform some specific task.
Any example? For example, I want to multiply two numbers. So I want to teach to a student who's not having any idea about programming. Everyone knows how we can multiply two numbers, right? So given two numbers, for example, A and B, which is entered by the user, if suppose I will tell you, can you tell me the sum steps which are a proper first, second, and third to give me a number which is a multiplication of A and B? So you can say, why not? What
Why
you can
not?
do is that as a very first
Yes.
step, what you can do, you will take two numbers which will be entered by the users, which is A and B, right?
Take two numbers. Now
Take
we
two
can
numbers,
take two
which
numbers.
is A and B,
A
entered
and
by
B
the user.
entered by the user.
After that, what we are trying to do is that we are taking some other variable which is basically used to store the product of these two numbers, which is maybe C, which is basically using a multiplication of A into B. And finally, as a third step, we are returning that value of C. Now, if you will see, this is a some finite steps. Step number one, taking of two numbers. Step number two, multiplication of those two numbers. Step number three, returning of that variable. So this is something which we called as a algorithm. This is what we made algorithm. For what? Which task we are performing here? For multiplying two numbers. For the multiplication of two numbers. Can I say?
Yes, you can say.
Very simple, right? Now, given a set of algorithms, can we say whenever we are writing any of the code, whenever you see in any programming language any of the code, can you say every code as an algorithm? Or do we have some specific properties of the algorithms? So yes, we can't say that every code written in any of the programming language is an algorithm. We have some specific properties of an algorithm that we want to see here. So I hope that the definition is clear to everyone, right? Let's move ahead. Here, now the next important part that we want to see here is that here if we want to see what are the properties of an algorithm that we have. So let's talk about the properties of an algorithm. So the very first property that we have in an algorithm is that it should terminate after some point of time. If suppose you have written any kind of algorithm, it should not be like that it is keep on running. Your code is keep on running. It is not generating any output. So, first property, the very first property of an algorithm is that it should terminate. It should terminate after finite amount of time. It should terminate after finite amount of time. Fine. The second important property is that once it will get terminated, it should produce at least one output. Your code or your algorithm should produce at least one output. You can expect more than one output as well, but obviously you are writing the code, you are writing any algorithm. What's the reason behind that? You want some specific output, right? For example, here I have written the code for multiplication of two numbers. So what I want is that I want the result as a multiplication of A and B. So our code should produce at least one output here, right? The third important property which you need to understand here is that it is independent of any programming language. It is independent of
any programming language. It is independent.
any programming language. Now this point is very interesting and is very much helpful for you all. Why? Because I have received a lot of queries from the students. Which programming language should I start to learn algorithms? What I'm saying? It is independent of any programming language. This is the property of an algorithm. Means you can start with any of the programming language, whatever you want. It's just the logic that you are building here. That's what I used to say each and every time, and in the induction session also I said the same thing, right? So it doesn't matter which programming language we are using here. It is independent of any programming language. Next important point. Whatever code or whatever algorithm you're writing here, it should be unambiguous. What is the meaning of unambiguous? Anyone? The fourth property which I am saying is unambiguous. Unambiguous. What is the meaning of that? Who will tell me? Okay, so I'm getting a lot of answers. So whenever we are talking about unambiguous, means the simple meaning is that the output that you are getting from an algorithm should be deterministic. Should be deterministic. What does that mean? The simple meaning is that for a given input, for example, you are writing here that I want to multiply, you have written some code for multiplication of two numbers, and you are taking the numbers 2 and 3. Today you are getting the output as 6, which is now if the same code 2 days back, 2 into 3, you are again getting the same output. You should get the same output, right? So here, the important point here to understand is that the output should be unambiguous. Means that today if I am running the code, I am getting the output. Tomorrow also if I run the same code, I will get in the same output, which is the apt output. random number like 10, then 12. It means that your code is not a deterministic tool. And that kind of algorithm we are not expecting. If this kind of result is coming up, it means that it's not a valid algorithm. Fine. So these are the 4 important properties of any of the algorithm which you will see in future classes. And whenever you will develop your own, I would say, algorithm also, at that point of time, you need to understand that these 4 properties should be there for any of the algorithms. Right? Results, yes, results should not be changing even if you are changing the time, means even if you are running it today, tomorrow, day, after year, after so many, means any number of time, it should be deterministic. Right? Point 2 says that your code should produce at least one output. For example, your need today is just to multiply 2 numbers, which is 2 into 3. So it will exactly give you one answer, right? Suppose your need is to, for example, one is the multiplication of a number. Another one is the division of 2 numbers. The division of 2 numbers. Right? So at that point of time, it will return 2 things. So what I'm saying is that whenever you're writing some algorithm, meaningful algorithm is the one who is having at least one output. So what is the use case? Use case is to generate 2 outputs, so it should produce both of the outputs. That's the internal meaning of point number 2. Right? So here, if you will see, these are the few properties that we have understood. Fine. So now we know what is algorithm. We have understood the example of that, and we have seen what are the properties of that. Now, if it is clear to everyone, let me ask with you one simple question. Is everyone aware about the working of the loops? How basically while loop will work? Everyone knows? Perfect. Okay. So suppose if I am saying while, as of now, don't focus much about the programming languages. I am just writing as a pseudocode. While suppose there is some condition, something is there where I am saying because of that, that condition will be true. And inside that, I am printing some statement. Suppose I am printing my name. My name is Priya Bhatia. Right? So this is a kind of a code which I have written. Okay? This is a code which is written in maybe Python programming language or any of the programming language you have written this code. Perfectly fine. Can you tell me, is this code which I am writing down here will be a valid algorithm or not? Can you categorize it as a valid algorithm or not? Many people are saying no, but there are some students who are saying yes. Why yes? Why yes? Why it is a valid one? It's no. It's straightforward. It's not an algorithm. This is not a valid algorithm. Who will give me the reason? Why is that so? Because if you will see what is the property of an algorithm, it should terminate after finite amount of time. See, we are writing finite steps. That is fine. Right? Task is to basically print my name, Priya Bhatia. But it is not following the point number 1 property. Here if you will see, at each and every time when while loop will run, I am saying that the condition will always be true. And when the condition will always be true, it will keep on repeating my name. It will keep on printing my name. And that's why it will not stop, it will not terminate after some finite amount of time. That's why it's not a valid algorithm. Am I making sense to everyone? Are the properties of algorithms clear to everyone? So now, in future, whenever you're writing some code, take one thing as a very long, which is a very important point from this key session, that whenever you are writing any algorithm, you need to see the terminating condition. That at what point of time your code should stop. Whenever you're you are writing any of the new algorithm, see, if your code is not like, it's not like that, it should not go towards infinite loop. Maximum number of times, people face one error whenever they're writing a code called as TLE, time limit exceeded. Why? Because maximum number of times they forgot to mention the terminating condition. And your code will keep on go towards the infinite loop and will not stop